Hello and welcome to our second annual Halloween special. Be sure to check out our scary game playthrough as well to help get you into the scary mood. Thank you for all of the support and get ready to get spooked.
It's not spooky whatsoever. You know what is spooky? STIs. So
yeah, don't be silly, cover your willy. If you're indulging into some freaky costume cosplay, don't just cover yourself up, cover your willy too. Protect your because it'll fall off.
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween.
Millie Rock. Hi.
Okay.
Gen Z kids do, right?
No.
That's our generation.
That's our generation. Old shit.
Okay, wait, one more time. Happy Halloween! Sorry,
Happy
Futuristic, for the first 40 seconds, it was unmuted desktop. Luckily, I caught it in the beginning.
You know what's funny? That shit happened last time too. Oh no, last time we were muted or some shit. Last year.
Remember.
Yeah, the audio got fucked for like a bit, and then you noticed at the end of it, you were like, "Oh, my mic was off for some shit," and I was just like, "Oh, fuck, mine too." Yeah, I remember that.
Caught it this time.
Nice.
But hello, everybody.
Hello.
Happy Halloween. We
Happy
are
Halloween.
In our costumes. We'll give you 5 seconds to guess, or you could just pause it and then guess. Okay.
We should probably for the viewers should probably show them our costume now, or like.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, both. For audio only, my name's Lee. I'm your guys' host for the Halloween episode.
Mhm.
And then we got Ninjubi, Steve, and then we got Rich Scorpion.
Hello.
Richard, if you want to stand up, you can, or if it's
No,
just
it's
dressed
just
up
yeah.
because it's a lot. Yeah. What are you dressed as?
I'm a zombie, but realistically, is like just a really shitty makeup look at what'll probably end up happening at some point in like
a few months.
Yeah. That's fucked.
Oh, Jesus.
That's dark as shit. No.
God.
No, we're talking about zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah. That's what we're talking about, right?
That's exactly what we're talking about. For the audio only, he's got a lot of blood on his face. He's got prosthetic or like scabs on his face. His hat's bloodied, and so is his t-shirt.
Did you bloody the hat?
Yeah.
Nice.
The hat looks cool.
The hat does look cool.
That's what Richard is. And then Steve, what are you?
I am what Napoleon Dynamite would look like if he was filmed and born raised in this generation of kids. So
Gen Z Napoleon Dynamite.
For viewers, I'm wearing. Here, let me move my chair back and show you guys. Oh shit, my shit blurred out.
You guys look at his bulge.
I even rolled them up.
Oh,
he rolled up his pants for our audio only people.
Wow.
So he's got on a t-shirt that says, "I shaved my balls for this." And then he's got on some blue jeans, no belt.
Yeah.
And rolled up vintage blue
Levi
jeans.
vintage blues.
Wow.
Yep. And he's got on, some glasses because it's Steve,
Got
and
the
he's
glasses, got the septum. I got the
he's got his hair nice and curly.
Anyway.
And yeah, that's Steve. And then, I don't know if I.
And at least just like a weeb.
No.
Yeah.
What are they called?
No.
So for me, last year I was a cow. Moo, which we were really supporting Doja that year. This year, Doja not so much, very problematic. Don't want to get into it. This year I'm going to be going to Michigan in the first week, and I'm going to Michigan Comic-Con, and my friend is also dressing up from a character in the same anime. So I was like, I was trying to decide, and I was going to go with like a little bit of more of a boring route. It would have just been me and like basically what I'm wearing now, but just black. I was going to be a cleanup brigade member, just the dudes that wear the mask on top. They're all masked, and then they just go around and they help the Hashira or whatever, or the demon slayers. They get them out. So that's what I'm Tanjiro's demon slayer teacher. Uroku Daki.
I don't remember. Yeah. He was
though.
cool
That's what it was. He was cool, and he wears this mask. I don't have everything. I thought it was a white t-shirt, but it's a black one, so I got to get a better one, or I got to fix that. But either way, and I'm wearing the pants, or I don't want to get up, but I'm wearing parachute pants
Wow.
to go with it. Yeah. And then I got some shoes that are like, I don't know. They kind of go with it. He wears sandals. I'm not wearing sandals to a convention because that's dumb.
Yup.
But I will wear ninja like look inspired shoes for sure. I'll wear that. So
Nice.
that's what we're going with. So that's who I am. So yeah, so I've thought two birds, one stone. And I'm also kind of broke because I said ticket and like ticket purchase. So yeah,
Why you
saving
keep-
money.
Wait, when
Why
are
you
you
keep
leaving?
doing the Ronald Reagan waves? He keeps doing this. I'm like, Reagan and Bush.
Peace and love.
Smoke all that kush.
Yep.
When are you leaving?
I'm leaving midnight when Wednesday/Thursday, going into Thursday, November 3rd. So second into the 3rd. I'm working that
November
Wednesday
3rd till Friday.
That's next.
No?
or
Well, because that.
November-
okay, no, that's the weekend I'm there. So I'm the second then because I'm coming in on the Thursday before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering about
I-
like recording, but we'll figure it
No,
out.
yeah, we'll
It's
be.
just an us episode?
If it
No,
comes
we
down to
can-
it, I don't think so.
I was gonna say I don't think so because that Wednesday I work and then when I come back, if anything, we could do it earlier. And then yeah, because I have to well, I don't even know. I've only gone out of LAX late at night one time before, and I was like, I don't even remember it. Not that I was high or anything. I just don't remember because it was a little while ago. So they always say when you're going to LAX for the airport, you show up 2 hours early. Like there's like, that's like, they're like, that shit could take forever. You
Bro, I
never know.
show up like 40 minutes. For my
Yeah.
flight.
See, I don't got that kind of like
Well, it's because like
luck.
I've gone to the airport so many times, like dropping people off or flying myself, that like I'm aware of where I'm supposed to be, how I'm supposed to get there, and like I time obviously correctly on how to get there. It's literally always been like 40 minutes. They say the 2 hour thing is only supposed to be for like international flights because there's the bag check and all that shit and the passport, the visas, that takes all that time.
Yeah.
But but state-wise, I don't think you'd need that long, no?
Either way. So my flight's at 12 a.m. So I was like, we'll see. I'm pretty sure I could still leave here by 11. So I'm pretty sure we could just do like normal, but it would have to be like on the dot. We're always like a little late, you guys. That's the reason why we're like talking about it and like kind of putting more thought into it because we're always a little late when it comes to starting, even when we're here around the same time, like maybe 5 minutes a little later, but we're here for maybe like 15 minutes,
Ew.
just getting like the final touches in or like bullshitting or whatever, getting the juices flowing,
Sen-
the blood pumping.
Sending that last thirsty message.
Yeah, the peen's nice and hard, and the text messages, the ups
It's just
scheduled
sitting-
and ready
just
to go.
sitting on your chart like this.
Huh? He took a picture of his dick for audio.
For audio
Yes.
only. Yeah, take a picture of his peen.
No, I turned my flashlight off. And
No,
on,
he
and I
took
didn't
a picture
actually-
of his dick.
You know what? For spooky reasons, I took a picture of my dick.
because it's spooky.
Ooh, nothing scarier than unsolicited dick pics.
Oh, true.
True, though.
True.
Uh,
But yeah, so that's what's going on. So I come back the Tuesday before. So I'll be here the day I leave and I'll be back the day before we record again. So
Cool.
Oh, I'll be
should-
here then.
should be okay. But yeah. Hi guys, welcome to the spooky episode. We're just celebrating happy, the festivities.
Mhm.
I'm trying to think.
Well, because like our plan is to
Oh.
get into like, well, I just wanted to quickly let them know we're
Yeah.
gonna go into scary story shit, but I don't know. That's like that doesn't really take up the whole episode. So I was gonna ask like, what do you guys have planned for Halloween actually? Because I still don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, Halloween's on a Tuesday.
Right.
Fucking nothing. I'm not doing jack shit to sell. This is the closest I'm getting to like wearing a costume for the holiday and like celebrating it.
Mm-hmm.
Air quotes
Mhm.
for audio only. Yeah, because we don't have friends that have parties that we all collectively know. So
It was Emily last
that's
time.
yeah, that's kind of about it. So
But she-
and we had two costumes that year. Now that I think about it, I had the costume that I wore for the podcast, and then I had a costume for the party. So that shit was kind
that
of
wasn't
fun.
the same year.
Wasn't that the same year?
No.
Oh, I thought it was the
we-
same year.
Emily's party was the year before we started the
years ago.
podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, No, either way, still a good party.
Go good party.
But yeah,
That driver was a bitch.
yeah.
yeah.
I was driving in fucking fog for like 2 hours.
But either way, it was a lot of fun. So yeah, this year this is the closest thing we got, unless somebody like tells me about some party or something like that, which I highly doubt it. So I don't. Oh well, maybe I could maybe see one person if I ask him. I'm pretty sure he'll have something. So yeah, I could ask, but it's just a matter of like hitting up people that I've hung out with maybe like
Twice.
in person 2 times. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then online we've talked. So, but it's like in person, it would be a couple times. So, but yeah. So I think this is the closest I'm going to get to like celebrating the festivities.
Steve.
Yup.
I have a Halloween party on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this upcoming Saturday after this podcast, I would have already had that, but I'm doing that, and I'm actually gonna go in what I purchased. So I was like, fuck it. I was like 2 in 1. So my friend who invited me, she had asked me too. She was like, yo, are you doing anything? I was like, no. She was like, cool. She's like, come through. I was like, perfect. And then she asked me like, what are you wearing? And then I showed her, and she was like, wait. She's like, that's actually really funny. She's like, wow, you're a funny person. I was like, I didn't pick this.
That's
I was
right.
Like, Richard picked this. I told her, I was like, I didn't pick this. And she was just like, okay. She's like, I still respect it. I'm like, cool.
My man's did.
Mm-hmm. I said, I pick what you wear.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Wear these pants. I like the way it makes your bulge look. Anyway,
Hell yeah. Plump.
sorry. I kind of want to go to Bar Sinister on Halloween.
What the hell's Bar
What's
Sinister?
that?
It's like a goth club in Hollywood.
Trying
sounds fun.
Trying to
Yeah.
goth patty?
Yeah.
I-
Trying to get sacrificed.
I imagine it's packed as shit this time of the year.
I imagine
Yeah.
so too.
Dude,
Sounds like it would be cool.
I just
I'm trying
want to see what's up.
Brujeria?
Yeah, no, I get you.
Trying to get some brujeria done on you?
Maybe.
It's just spit. It's just someone spitting
Bro,
a
at
shot
this
in your
point,
mouth.
fuck it. I don't know.
It's like,
Let's have some fun. Mm-hmm.
I'm all about it. I support these activities. Oh, speaking of activities, you guys are running next week's episode too. You know why? Because it's the 69th episode, and your boy's a hoe. Kind of.
Yeah.
I'm good.
you said
I'm like,
you're running?
Well, he wants to host it.
Oh.
or do you want to host it? You can host if you want. You
I don't
gotta
care.
you gotta be sexual though. It's gotta be naughty.
I don't think it has to be like that bad, but okay.
Well, I don't know. What do you
It's
think I
gotta
would
be
come
sexual.
up? Well, I mean, yeah, that's our we've been talking about it, that it's gonna be our sexual episode.
No, you can host. I'm cool with you hosting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The fact that it's just our shit, because this is not spooky whatsoever. You know what is spooky? Fucking STIs. So
Yeah, don't be silly, cover your willy.
we're
if
a very sex positive podcast. So
you're indulging into some freaky costume cosplay, don't just cover yourself up, cover your willy too. Yeah.
Hey,
protect your dick because it'll fall off.
we kind of talked about it last week about the costume shit, about having sex with like somebody in costume.
Oh yeah, I was gonna go into detail with that. Yeah, it was some dude in a penguin costume.
What?
Huh?
Yeah, we showed up at the
You fucked the guy in the
room. Yeah, actually I did. Yeah.
Did he keep it on?
He put his
I think that
icicle
was-
in you?
No, what's funny? He kept it on for the first half, and then the second half, when he had to flip over, then he had to take it off.
What if he told you, call me Pablo?
I would have called the fucking Pablo and slapped him around like I did.
For the
That
ones
would
who
just
don't
throw in
know,
an
that's
extra
a
word.
Backyardigans reference.
He just
Where you from?
Nothing like sexualizing.
cast away. We are
We are
castaways.
castaways. Happy Halloween.
Ahoy there, sailors.
What's your guys' favorite scary movie?
Oh,
I just thought about it. Just in general, because I've been like a lot of YouTube channels and stuff. I watch a decent amount of like reaction videos. Weirdly enough, I think it kind of pertains to kind of showing your friend a song for the first time, or watching them like watch a movie with them for the first time. So it's just cool watching. That's how I see it, and that's how I approach it.
I got that.
So I've been watching there's this YouTube channel called Real Rejects, and two of them watched is it The Strangers? I think that's the one.
That's
That's
one
a
of
good
my
one.
favorites. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But that's not a scary.
It's a-
I don't know.
It's a
I don't
thriller
consider those-
suspense.
I
that shit
consider
was
those like
scary.
I consider those like slasher suspense films.
I wouldn't even call
that's
it a
why I
slasher. I
like
feel
it.
like a slasher. There's like multiple kills. That's
There
just like
is. Oh no, wait, no, sorry, I'm thinking of the second one. Sorry.
I haven't watched this.
yeah.
But anyway,
The second one, yeah, the second one's with if you've ever seen fuck, why am I spacing John Hamm show?
nope. I don't. Huh.
John Hamm, he
I
had
don't
a
even know
show
who
that
that is.
came as Don Draper. Least seen it. Mad
I
Men.
have.
Mad Men.
Oh.
Have you not
Oh.
seen Mad Men?
No.
I haven't watched
Okay,
Mad Men, but
so-
I know of Mad
So,
Men.
so there's a character. She plays a character called Joan. Super hot. She's the one who plays the mom in that movie. Super hot.
Wow.
She's like real life Jessica Rabbit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good costume idea.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think she played it once too, which would be fucking perfect.
Okay. But yeah, I like that movie. I don't know. I like that
Yeah.
movie basically because it's really. I think we talked about this on the other one, but
Mhm.
it's like it can happen, and I like shit that makes you think of like, oh shit, that could actually happen, and makes you start like kind of worrying about yourself.
Right.
That's how I get fucked up.
No, I get you. But yeah, so they reacted to it, and it was pretty good watching them like kind of freak out at like certain parts and stuff like that. So I was like,
Yeah.
nice, satisfying watch. So that's what I was wondering. What are your guys' favorite
So that's
spoofy movies?
one of mine. But like my favorite franchise, Halloween, just because Michael Myers has always been like my favorite slasher / villain. So I don't know. I like it a lot.
nice.
Can't get past that. Goes hard.
And what about you, Steve?
I'm a big zombie fan, so 20
Zombie
20
Land?
weeks, no, 28 weeks later is my favorite one.
That one's good.
But if we're getting like into like horror films, The Grudge, but the Japanese one, the original one, that shit is creepy. As to this day, I can't watch it without being like, I don't want to watch this by myself.
Pussy.
No, dude, that shit is fucking
I'll
like.
watch it.
There's The Grudge, and The Grudge is cool because you know like what to expect. And then there's The Grudge, but the Japanese version, that shit is wild as fuck. Like it's insane, like the way it plays out. The little boy is the creepiest one in that entire film.
Wow.
He's not even that creepy in the American one. You know what I just realized too, and because I rewatched it now that we're talking about horror films. Do you guys ever pay attention to The Ring? Like when the main character's going through the photo album.
No.
Oh no,
I don't
I do
recall.
not remember specific scenes.
And
Yeah.
this might be what's that shit called when like people see something but then you rewatch it or you look at it and then it's something else. Or it's
like a
like-
Mandela thing?
Yeah, the Mandela effect. So I remember growing up because I remember seeing this and I was like, yo, I shouldn't be watching this. I'm a kid. It was like they're like she's looking at the photos in the cabin when she first realizes all the creepy shit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a photo of her with I think it's her or someone else with a dick in their mouth. Like someone actually took a photo like in that movie. They're like this. It's a Polaroid and it's like someone's dick is in their mouth and they took a photo of that. And I remember seeing that very vividly because I was like,
Dope.
I was like, what does that mean?
In The Ring?
In The Ring, yeah.
But okay, but you watched it and it wasn't there. Is that what you?
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it since. But
Oh.
it plays vivid like in my brain. 'Cause
Oh,
I'm like,
okay.
nobody really ever notices that. So when I bring it up to people who like obviously like these movies, they're like, no, I never saw that. And I'm like, damn. I was like, I need to watch this movie again to know if either I was really horny as a kid or just crazy.
He's confusing it for the porno version.
I was about to say. I don't remember. I feel like that would have been talked about. Like that's why I'm like, really? What
Yeah.
the fuck? I feel like you're
See, I
Mandela
feel like-
affecting your own brain.
I feel like that's some
I
shit
hope
that was
not.
like in Scary Movie or something, and that's
No,
what
it
you're like
wasn't.
thinking of. I don't know, maybe.
I literally remember when Steve was talking about the kid. I was thinking about the kid from Scary Movie that is literally just naming car names.
Yeah.
Toyota, Mitsubishi,
I'm
Honda.
like, dude, those movies did not age well.
Oh my
They did
god,
not.
they're so
They did
fucking
not.
funny though. I don't care.
Yeah, they are. Of course they are.
I mean, I feel like if if you're gonna tackle that kind of like content or that kind of like area, it should be in like a movie. Like that's what it's made for. It's meant to like make fun of like that kind of humor, that kind of like, you know, verbiage. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. But yeah.
I don't know. I just like them. I love it. Scary movie too.
Nice.
Still top.
I don't really know. I guess for horror movies,
You like cosmic horror. I remember you telling us that.
yeah, I do like cosmic horror, and you know what's the funny part?
Uh-huh.
Killer
I
clowns from
can't-
space.
I can't remember the name of the movie that I remember. I think I talked about it on the podcast, like an episode like last time I talked about it. Most likely, I think it might have been the Halloween one too.
Hmm.
I can't remember, but it's a cosmic horror movie, and what I'm trying to remember the name, but I watched it at a coworker's housewarming party, and
Oh, you can talk about it.
there were just a bunch of like what are they called? I'm trying to think of like the official name, but they're the people that I worked at a mortuary. For people that know, I've talked about it on podcasts. For those that don't know, used to work at a mortuary, and they like prep the bodies, the people, those doctors or whatever, and that was one of my coworkers. She invited me to her housewarming. So when I got there, it was just a bunch of stoner preppers, basically. Like they were all just sitting around smoking, chill, you know, we're all just chewing the shit. And I remember getting really, really high. So high that I sat down and I was like just kind of waiting for the food, and I'm like getting absorbed by what's on the TV, and it's this fucking movie that's so fucking weird. It's like these people all like converge in a hospital, and then it leads into like they're part of like a sacrificial ritual, and like in like cosmic horror, body horror movies, like they really depend a lot on practical effects. So you're seeing like obviously fake, like stomachs being open, turning into mouths, teeth, like people melding or melting into like crazy shit. So me high as shit, and I'm watching some like bitch have tentacles coming out of her stomach and stuff, and I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? And I remember my coworker coming up to me. She's like, Lee, and she touched me. I was like, oh, what? Oh, I almost dropped my phone right now. I was like, what the fuck? What? And she was like, are you okay? You just been sitting here. I'm like, do you, what's the name of this? Do you know this movie? And she was like, no, we just like put on whatever for the party. And I was like, this is fucking weird. This is some trippy ass shit. I can't remember the movie, but if you guys ever see, it's a pyramid, funny enough. And it's these dudes that wear, it's I don't know. I can't remember if it's all white. I think it's all white. They wear like all white robes, but on the mask they have like upside down pyramids or whatever. It's like a ritual thing. But I think it's called The Verge or something. It's the something. I can't
How
remember.
funny would it be if like
But it was
you're
cool.
just so fucked up that you're like explaining this movie, but it's just really just the Conehead movie?
Oh my god! Imagine.
I was thinking like him just staring off at the TV, and it's off.
Oh my god! I don't think
Like,
I've never
you see this movie, and the
hallucinated.
girl's just like, this bitch is high as fuck.
Like it's off. I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
right. But so yeah, Cosmic Horror. I can't remember the name of the movie. That one's cool. Scary. Like I like it, but I liked it because it like kind of made me. It kind of scared me, but it was also just really cool and really like well
Wait, which
written.
it?
The remake one,
Okay.
the first one. I thought it was just really cool the way that the characters were written and the way that the kids interacted. Like I thought it was just an all around good movie. But it made me laugh more than it made me scared.
Yeah.
I really can't remember like a scary movie that I just outright like for it being like super scary. I guess at the time that I saw it, Paranormal Activity fucked me up like hardcore.
Really?
Yeah, because my house
I remember that one. Mm-hmm.
was like super
didn't
haunted
fuck
or
me up
whatever.
at all.
So that movie kind of like really fucked my brother and I up because of like shit that would happen in the house every now and then. And especially me when I was younger. I think I talked about it. I used to I used to wake up late at night. I wish I was like more aware. It was when we were kids, so the internet was like still barely coming in. So, and I didn't have a smartphone. People didn't really have smartphones by then, if they had a cell phone at all. So I remember, I don't even remember what time. It could have been 3 a.m. It could have been like around the witching hour or whatever when Scoopy creepy shit's supposed to be happening. But
I thought you were gonna say when Scooby Doo's roaming around.
I thought I was like, were you trying to
Roman.
say like Courage?
no.
Oh, Courage the Cowardly Dog's all based on horror.
No, Scoopy poopy scary stuff. I was just saying words that I fumbled up on. But I remember waking up and then just like how I would sleep, because I would sleep facing the door was always open to our bedroom because we would be petrified with it closed. Don't know why. And when I would sleep, I would be facing the door out to the house, and it just was like they would always leave the bathroom light on. So beyond the bathroom, the door to our bedroom is the hallway, and then it's the bathroom to the right. So the light would just shine, and the hallway was lit, but the whole living room and everything else was like pitch black. So I couldn't see anything. That's terrifying.
That suits you because it's like yellow lights and then zombies.
Yeah.
That is terrifying. Richard's light just
For
turned
anybody
off.
who doesn't know,
my God.
my room light's fucked up. I don't know what it is, so it just changes colors out of nowhere.
I love it.
As far as we know, it's a ghost.
Spoopy.
It amplified the spoopy for your room.
So I would wake up and I remember I would just be so uncomfortable, like looking at the darkness. So I would just flip over and it would be so hard for me to fall asleep. And I was starting to get like really fucked up nightmares, and like people were just dying. There was a lot of violence. There's like a lot of death. A lot of people were dying in my dreams. And a lot of it like involved like my school, and school wasn't even going that well either. So it was not like a good time for Lee. So I remember that happening. And then when I would turn around and I would try to fall asleep, it felt like something was just kind of like constantly staring at me from the back. Like you feel that feeling. And I remember hearing footsteps like walking around, and sometimes that would provoke me to turn around if I started hearing footsteps coming up to the room. So then I would flip, and I swear to God, I would always hear something walk up to the edge of my bed and just stop. And then just stand there, and I would just be too petrified to even move. I would like, the most I could do is shrink into the blanket and then just like fetal position and just stay there and just be like, okay, well, this is good enough. And I don't remember falling asleep. I would just like beg and beg and beg for it to go away and for it to stop. And then next thing you know, I'm waking up and it's the morning. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I guess.
You know, I just thought of, because for those of you who don't know, what's it called? We filmed a little thing, a little game, what's it called? Playthrough really quick of us playing a scary game. It's called Lunch Lady. And we called it out in the video. We were like, watch us go into the footage. We go to Lee's POV, and it's just him hiding in a corner the whole time. And sure enough, I looked at it, and like for the first like 20 minutes or whatever the fuck it was, it's just him in one dark room looking at a corner, kind of.
I hope that like you're gonna like obviously like you'll show the clips of us. And it's like you and I looking around, and then you just panel at Lee, and it's just just hidden in the corner while we're like fucking looking for shit. I spent most of my time in that game fucking dodging the lunch lady like crazy.
Yeah. No, it was good. Go watch it.
It was spoopy.
Go watch it, and if you guys enjoy it, support the small developers like that, because they made a good ass game.
Oh yeah, actually.
Oh, I was gonna say support us because we're smaller than them.
Of course, too. Support us first.
Support us first, and then if you have anything left over and if you feel like supporting more, you can support them. But if you support us and show us that you guys like it, we'll make more. So yeah. So Paranormal Activity tripped me out because that shit like in the movie would happen, and then it reminded me of when I was younger. So me and my brother dealt with stuff like that too. So that movie really fucked us up. My brother and I collectively. So I think Paranormal Activity when I was younger, not older, I really can't I can't think of anything that's like scary. Like things make me feel uncomfortable. Like, oh, that one movie that we watched, this one, I can't remember the name, but I only remember the ending.
The lake, right? Yeah,
the
I
Mr.
remember you talking.
Yeah,
That movie, ooh, I could see it right now, and it gave me chills. That movie, that ending, fucking. Oh,
I thought it
Jesus
was cheesy.
Christ, dude. It makes me
was-
so uncomfortable. It's the delivery. It's the delivery of like that coming on screen, and then like the build up. Like it's kind of like the whole movie is kind of like, okay, it's kind of like leading up to something, like something happened. We know something happened, and then when it finally happens, and it's like what we see, I was like, oh,
You know the funny
oh my
part about
God.
that is that I remember seeing that scene and I was just like, hey, they were fucking the family was fucking the babysitter because she was the babysitter, and I was my brain was just like, hey, she was fucking the parents. Like
She was fucking
that's
the
crazy.
neighbors, bro.
Well, but she was babysitting.
Oh, right, but that's what I'm saying. That was
it was the
trippy.
neighbors.
She was underage. That's the worst part. Oh my god.
Yeah. She was like 16, right, or some shit like that.
I think so.
I don't remember Jack Worth of the movie. That's literally the only thing I remember is the ending, because it like freaked me out pretty much. And I think it's because like I think about it for myself and seeing that, and then for some reason, like I don't even think I would have gone to that point of like where she got to like actually walking out and then like witnessing that. I would have never gone to that point. I'm too chicken shit for stuff like that. I'd be like, no, I'm smarter than this, and I'd leave or something. Like I'm so good. But if I saw something like that, man, that would fuck me up. That would fuck me
I
up.
don't.
So that's why I was like, this movie's ending is trip. It's a trip.
Cool.
So yeah, that's the only one I can think of though. Those ones. I can't really think of anything else that's like,
Steve.
points out.
As a kid,
Any
the
in
Blair
general?
Witch Project.
Oh, well, you're right. You said
When I was younger, the Blair Witch. That I think I've always said that. Especially because like going camping, going hunting, like I'm in the woods. It's fucking dark, pitch black. Like I have a flashlight to go like take a piss in the woods. Like, but it's just the eerie idea of like not knowing what could pop up or show up behind a tree or like run across or whatever it is, right?
raccoon.
Maybe. Or a deer.
Little robbers. They got little mash.
Oh my
gloves.
god! Hold on, really quick. While we're like, you brought up deer, and I just ADD. It clicked that I saw that they can get this disease or some shit that basically rots away at their brain, and then they just end up like fucking
It's like Mao-Kel disease.
kind of basically, and they just kind of end up like running in circles or like just fucking acting like zombies. Essentially, it's really
Yeah.
creepy because it's
Yeah,
like
it's crazy.
it's like spreads through their poop or some shit. So
Oh.
so
Mhm.
what's it called? Like one bad, deer can infect a whole bunch of them. It's crazy.
Wild.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's weird.
Nature's scary. That's just
You know what actually
Mad
is scary?
deer disease.
That fucking Mao-Kel disease, like, it actually is a thing again for us. Like, there was reports of like people,
oh,
like
this is a
somebody-
while ago. I remember.
yeah, like, well, this is recent. This is like last week again. Like, it was in the news again about Mao-Kel disease, and it's like basically like it's a zombie disease in a sense.
Dope.
But it like eats at your brain and then you die.
Cool.
That's the scary part about those.
It's like rabies.
The
It's
closest
not curable.
the closest thing we get to a zombie apocalypse, and it's the disease that actually doesn't make you violent. It just makes you like really dumb, and then you just like die out of sheer just
Weed.
Oh, it
brain
just
not functioning.
It just vegetizes you. Yeah.
Weed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What?
Oh.
Did you say weed? Is that what you were saying?
You know,
Oh
like
my
all the
God.
commercials, like back in the day, where it's just
Yeah.
like the chick that's like slumped on the
She's all-
couch and deflated. And
Was
shit.
that weed? I thought that was
It
cigarettes.
was weed.
Oh, no, that
It was weed.
It was the the Juul
That's
pods.
Sarah. She used to be fun,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one.
but then she started smoking.
Growing up, I feel
And
like
this is all we do.
growing up, what freaked me out, like weirdly, I don't know what happened, where my brain was just like, this is kind of creepy. Was Pet Cemetery.
I never watched it. Or
The remake one. I think because of the graphic, it's a little creepier. But the little kid. Well, I don't want to.
it's
Do you want to
fine.
watch it?
I've known most of it.
Whoa,
but
So
I've
the
never
little
watched
Wait,
kid.
Wait,
what?
it's because they made a remake and it's brand new. So I don't know.
Well,
Maybe-
it's the same
it.
thing.
Spoiler territory.
That's why.
I guess.
spoilers, just in case, because I know
Yeah.
that it's a movie or it's a show or something.
It's
That
a
is
movie.
like
Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
this movie came out like 3-4 years ago, before the pandemic. So if you haven't watched it, spoiler alert ahead.
It's also
so
Oh,
it's
I
been
thought it
out
was-
since the 80s. So
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I thought the remake. It just like it's a brand new or something on something that I stream. I can't
Maybe
remember
new
what.
on the streaming website.
Oh,
Yeah, but yeah, so basically family moves into this house, they're living there, and it's like in the middle of fucking nothing. Kid being a kid is playing outside during a little like birthday party of his, and he gets hit by a whole ass semi.
Oh,
He gets fucking obliterated. But parents get all depressed, get all crazy. Like they just get sad. Obviously, it's their only kid. And the dad comes across this like native like field, but it's supposed to be like a cursed area. And what ends up happening is the person like basically protecting it tells him like his cat dies somewhere along the lines, and this is how they figure it out. I don't want to go too into it because it's very like detailed, but basically long story short is the guy tells him like, hey, do you want to bring your cat back to life? We can, like there's a way. And then bring him back to life, whatever. Then the kid dies like
Right.
after, so he gets the idea of like, if I bury my kid there, he'll come back.
all right.
He comes back all fucking crazy, possessed, demonic, and like starts murdering people. Like he looks
Cool.
like a real, like an actual real life Chucky.
Dope.
But something about that movie, I think it's just the background and like the sounds that makes it very eerie. So like that freaked me out.
Yeah.
But the movie still to this day that has me like queasy freaked out would be Midsummer.
Ah.
Midsummer fucked me up only because at the beginning of that film they show somebody who fucking KYS's with an exhaust pipe fucking with a tube running from the exhaust to their mouth in the room, and they're just holding it like
Have
that.
you not
like
seen
it's
that, Richard?
taped.
No.
It's in theaters
Oh,
again. They're playing it.
Oh, by the way, sorry to cut you off. I want to go see Interstellar. It's in theaters again in November or something like that, and and you can watch it in IMAX. I never
Yeah.
got to see it on the big screen, so I want to
I
do
don't think I
that.
watched it in
I'm
IMAX, but I'd be down.
Yeah.
Cool.
But what I was talking about is Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. Apparently it's a prequel of the Stephen King
it's a
novel
show?
Pet Cemetery. No, it's a movie. It's a movie. Yeah.
Hmm.
This is a movie. Yeah, but this is a prequel to Pet Cemetery.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah, but
sounds
good
cool, though.
movie. Yeah, good movie. You'd probably like
Hey, go
trip
watch.
out on
Go
it.
watch those if you haven't. Apparently, really good.
Mhm.
No.
Okay.
So far, we've said 2 Stephen King movies:
Which ones?
What was the other one?
We didn't.
Pet Cemetery and It.
We didn't mention it.
Oh, that's right. I talked about
Oh,
it.
okay.
I mentioned the like. Yeah, I
My
would say
brain
like
is
I would say it's one of my favorite horror movies, but that's not because I was like it scared me, but it's not like the scariest
just
horror
a good-
movie that
yeah,
I've seen.
no.
It's just a good time. It's a good scary movie.
I get that.
Rich,
Yeah.
what about you?
The only one that's ever like fucked me up is what's that shit called? The Conjuring. But that was because I didn't watch it in theaters. I watched it in school. Because they had it as like a fundraiser thing, like come for movie night, right? It was like at it was like at 7 again during like Halloween time, and I went, and it was just a bunch of us, like bunch of me and friends and shit like that. We watched it. It was all in dark and shit. It was kind of creepy or whatever. Then it was done, and it was like 9-10 o'clock at that point. So we get out, and it's just us, like what's it called, a dead school, and we're just fucking waiting for our parent. Well, most of them were waiting for their parents. I drove there, so what's it called? By the end of it, it was only just me and like 2 or 3 others, and they were like, "Can you give us a ride?" I'm like, "Sure." So I gave them a ride back to their house, and then I was driving back to mine. And this is like one of the few times where I was driving by myself at that point. So I was scared as shit because like movies fresh in my mind. I'm a kid driving for the first time by themselves down a barren road in the middle of the night, and I just kept looking in the back mirror, like waiting for when and spoiler, I guess if you haven't watched it, when the witch pops out like under the staircase or whatever the fuck it is. Yeah, I kept waiting to see that shit in my fucking rear view.
Ew.
But yeah, I made it home and I was just like, but
Gross.
that was the only one that's ever like put an impression like that. So it was good.
Those movies are good. I like those. Was it Hereditary and what's the other movie? Midsommar. They're from the same house or same studio, isn't it?
Yes.
Is A24? Is that one of theirs? No.
So.
What's the
I don't know, to be honest, but it's not A24.
I can't remember. I think they put out a horror movie that I watched recently or something like that. What
The
was?
Lodge.
I don't think so. Shit, maybe
They have
not.
3. They have The Lodge. Well, it was Hereditary, The Lodge, and then Midsummer.
Mm.
All
I
right,
Which
see.
is like a winter one. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking about it because I remember that's a good studio. I like it when studios like just keep the quality A1.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, you could tell. You could tell it's like still like based on like what they make, just because all 3 of them follow the same thing. Supposedly, there's a rumor that all 3 of them have some sort of connection, but I
Apparently,
didn't look into it.
I think they say that they're all kind of in the same universe, technically, or cinematic universe. But then it makes me think, like, okay, well, is it like spoiler
It has to
alert
do
for
something with
Hereditary?
Something with the grandmother. It links the grandmother all the way through to Midsummer.
Okay, because I was gonna say like in Hereditary, the fucking technically the second coming of the Antichrist is born, so I don't really know.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, so technically, so I don't know how far. Like, if they're all part of the same universe, well, we know how it ends. Not good.
All right.
So
If you ever watch those movies, just be prepared to see a lot of naked old people.
Yeah.
That's what those movies have. A lot of naked old people, and we're not talking
But that's
about like
creepy, dude.
we're not talking about like softcore porn. No, it's like straight out old people pussy.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's those movies. They're scary, but the scarier part about them is the fact that they make you so uncomfortable. Like they
Yeah.
have like a lot of like very uncomfy like visuals and like situations. So
Yeah.
that's what those movies excel in for me
But they're
personally,
good.
like making you feel uncomfortable. No, they're super good. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. But
All right.
I have a
I don't-
question. I have a question for you guys, real quick.
Okay.
If you could be in a horror film, which one would you want to be in?
Could be none.
Ugh.
Fuck that. If we have
none.
to be,
Jesus.
if we have to be in one, like which one do you think we could survive? I guess.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Oh, Jesus.
Or actually, here's a better one. Which one do you think you'd die in quickly in?
Oh,
Oh, Jesus.
dying quickly.
Mhm.
Damn, I know. I'm like, damn, I can't think of any horror movie where they just like
I know which
that.
one Richard would die in.
Which one?
Oh,
Like fast, Freddy Krueger.
I was thinking of that.
I feel like that would hurt. That motherfucker makes it last so long. Those kills are always drawn out, dragged out. That shit, I feel like that would hurt.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, yeah, probably.
I would die
I
by
get-
something supernatural for sure, like The Ring type of shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think I'd make it
No.
far enough in The Ring.
I think you die like Friday the 13th. I just think that you would.
Like Jason.
Yeah, because you would be doing something stupid, and
I'd
then
be partying.
yeah, and
Fucking.
then you'd find out something about he did, or like say like somebody went missing. You'd be the one that goes out to look for them and gets murked
By myself or with somebody there?
by yourself.
You think I'd solo that shit? I would not.
You would solo that shit for me or Richard or
Yeah.
your, or your significant other. That's what you would
Either
do.
that, or you were the one that like separated from the group and somehow got caught by him.
You know what I'd be? I'd be the one with the significant other who gets killed with that person.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
That's why I said
That's-
fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Yeah. I was like,
I always remember
Duh.
Freddy versus Jason.
I was like, I don't have a significant other, but if I did, that's how I would die.
Freddy
in a
versus
scary film.
Jason when they're fucking in the cornfield and it's just kebab.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
thinking of
that-
Freddy Krueger where like they're fucking and he like fucking goes through
Oh,
them
that's a good one too.
to the bed.
Yeah. Yup. I
Oh, no,
personally
he
can't
pushes-
think.
That's Freddy versus Jason 2 in the bed.
You would die
I-
from like the Ring because you would be
Me?
you would be fucking
Oh.
like somehow it would end up online and you just watch it out of
In
curiosity.
the new one, apparently, isn't that what happens in the new one or some shit? Doesn't it get online?
It's called
Ooh, I
Rings.
got a cramp.
It was
Yeah,
garbage.
rings.
It's trash.
It was
Right.
garbage. Don't watch it.
No, I don't. I'm good. Yeah, like I think. Yeah, no. I think the reason why scary movies also like turn me off, not like completely, but like enough to not actively like watch them, because I know there are people out there that are like, yeah, I like watching horror movies, like that's just my thing, you know, I'm into it or whatever. Yeah, that's not me. That's barely me, like at all. I think
love
it's
horror.
it's just like because I'm constantly putting myself mentally in whatever I'm watching, or I like put myself in that universe. I'm basically just like immersing myself. So when I'm watching a horror movie, I'm trying really hard not to immerse myself. So like to cover my eyes and shit, because that shit is scary. So then when I'm watching, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like I'm experiencing it. So with that being said, I don't think there's like any movie that I would have lived. That's a horror movie. Maybe it.
No, we didn't say live.
I would hope.
We said die.
Oh, die? Like die? Then I would die in all of them. I really don't see myself living through any of them except for it, just because it's a group of friends, like, and they kind of help each other. Like that's the only. If someone's helping me, then I would live.
You know,
if it's just me, when it comes down to stuff like that,
you know
because knowing me, I'm gonna get myself killed because if flight isn't gonna work and it always is flight then fight, then if flight's not gonna work, then the fight is just gonna be.
Bro,
it's just gonna suck.
Have you know like how they beat it in the book?
Bullying him?
No, in the book, in like in the kids in the kid version, like when they're kids. I don't know about the adult version, but when they're kids, in order to beat him, I guess they find out that it's because they have to like. I guess grow up or some shit, lose their purity or some shit.
Yeah.
Don't they do some fucked up shit with the girl?
They run a train on the girl.
Yeah, from what I hear. Yeah, I remember that.
It's true. It's weird. It's creepy, and I was just like, yeah, I'm glad they changed that in the movie.
That's crazy. I didn't know that,
dude. It's fucked. Stephen King's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I remember that being like a topic of conversation until like in the beginning, I think people were like kind of wondering how they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
And I remember them just being like, we're not doing that. That's not gonna happen. We're putting that out there right now. That's not happening.
That makes so much more sense.
Yeah, because I mean it's like imagine if it wasn't there's no way that movie would have been as well received as it was.
They wouldn't have allowed it anyway.
Yeah, they wouldn't have allowed it.
I don't think you can portray that. Anyway.
No, yeah, that show was crazy.
Well, speaking of scary, I think it's just time we get into the spooky stories.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you guys wanted to get into it, we could. So, like we said earlier, we're gonna be getting into the spooky story part. We each looked at different stories that we thought were spooky, and we're bringing them here. Spooky or uncomfortable? I say that because I don't think mine's scary. It's more of like that's kind of fucked up, and it makes you feel bad. Who
wants to start?
I can start.
You want to start? Cool. Steve starts.
Yeah, I'll start.
Mood lighting.
It's in editing. Go ahead.
So my creepypasta is based on Lavender Town. I was like, my tongue died. It's for the ones who don't know, it's from a very popular game called Pokemon. Mainly based on Red and Green is kind of where like this rumor / story came about.
Red and Blue for US audiences.
Wasn't it Red and Green?
Red and Blue was the US version.
Was the US was released.
Red and Green was Japanese. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So sorry, Red and Blue. But basically what it is to give you guys an idea, Lavender Town Syndrome, also known as Lavender Town Tone. Jesus Christ, Lavender Town suicides was a peak in suicides and illness of children between the age of 7 and 12 years old, shortly after the release of Pokemon Red and Green in Japan back in... Oh, wait, so this is all based on that shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Back in February 27, 1996, rumors say that these suicides and illness only occurred after the children playing the game reached Lavender Town, whose theme music had extremely high frequencies that studies show that only children and young teens can hear since their ears are more sensitive. So old people couldn't hear shit.
Yeah.
Due to Lavender Tone, at least 200 children supposedly committed suicide, and many more developed illnesses and afflictions. The children who committed suicide usually did so by hanging or jumping from heights. Jesus Christ, are we really reading this? Those who did not act irrationally complained of severe headaches after listening to the Lavender Town theme. There's so many ads on this thing. Although Lavender Town now sounds differently depending on the game, this mass hysteria was caused by the first Pokemon game released. After Lavender Town incident, the programmers had fixed the town's theme music to be a lower frequency, and since then, children no longer affected by it. One video appeared in 2010 using super special software to analyze the audio of Lavender Town music. When played, the software created images of the unknown near the end of the audio. This raised a controversy since the unknown didn't appear until the Generation 2 games Silver, Gold, and Crystal. The unknown translated to leave now. This is now. There is also said beta version of Lavender Town. It is said that the beta version of Pocket Monsters was released the same to some kids to test the game. This is the video of the I mean, you could play it if you want to play it there. But that basically concludes this one. So this entire story is based on, for the ones who didn't play it, to give you guys a breakdown, you enter this town and it's supposed to be a ghost town. This is where you like first come across ghost type Pokemon. But throughout the entire time that you're going through there, you're seeing hunters run around, which are like the ghost type Pokemon, and that eerie sound that people are talking about is a very like high pitched song that repeats all the way through and through. You mainly really start listening to it. I think it gets a little louder when you go into the building, and that's when you start like battling all the like the gym people and stuff like that, which to get the gym trainers to get to the gym leader.
I'm gonna be playing it throughout you talking or saying the story.
Don't worry, you guys. You're old enough for it not to affect you.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
If you're not, don't blame us.
Jesus, some of these.
All right. You want to go or you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay. Mine. I'm pretty sure this one's pretty popular. I feel like most people have heard it. Maybe it's called the Russian sleep experiment.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. It's a little spooky time. Hold on. So.
Spooky.
Russian researchers in the late 1940s kept 5 people awake for 15 days using an experimental gas-based stimulant. They were kept in a sealed environment to carefully monitor their oxygen intake so the gas didn't kill them, since it was toxic in high concentrations. This was before closed-circuit cameras, so they had only microphones and 5-inch thick glass porthole-sized windows into the chamber to monitor them. The chamber was stocked with books, cots to sleep on but no bedding, running water and toilet, and enough dried food to last all 5 for over a month. The test subjects were political prisoners deemed enemies of the state during World War II. Everything was fine for the first 5 days. The subjects hardly complained, having been promised falsely that they would be freed if they submitted to the test, and did not sleep for 30 days. Their conversations and activities were monitored, and it was noted that they continued to talk about increasingly traumatic incidents in their past, and the general tone of their conversations took on a darker aspect after the 4-day mark. After 5 days, they started to complain about the circumstances and events that led them to where they were, and started to demonstrate severe paranoia. They stopped talking to each other and began alternately whispering to the microphones and one-way mirrored portholes. Oddly, they all seemed to think they could win the trust of the experimenters by turning over their comrades, the other subjects in captivity, with them. At first, the researchers suspected this was an effect of the gas itself. After 9 days, the first of them started screaming. He ran the length of the chamber, repeatedly yelling at the top of his lungs for 3 hours straight. He continued attempting to scream, but was only able to produce occasional squeaks. The researchers postulated that he had physically torn his vocal cords. The most surprising thing about this behavior is how the other captives reacted to it, or rather, didn't react to it. They continued whispering to the microphones until the second of the captives started to scream. The 2 non-screaming captives took the books apart, smeared page after page with their own feces, and pasted them calmly over the glass portholes. The screaming promptly stopped. So did the whispering to the microphones. After 3 more days passed, the researchers checked the microphones hourly to make sure they were working, since they thought it was impossible that no sound could be coming with 5 people inside. The oxygen consumption in the chamber indicated that all 5 must still be alive. In fact, it was the amount of oxygen 5 people would consume at a very heavy level of strenuous exercise. On the morning of the 14th day, the researchers did something that they said they would not do to get a reaction from the captives. They used the intercom inside the chamber, hoping to provoke any response from the captives they were afraid were either dead or vegetables. They announced, "We are opening the chamber to test the microphone. Step away from the door and lie flat on the floor or you will be shot. Compliance will earn one of you your immediate freedom." To their surprise, they heard a single phrase in a calm voice response. "We no longer want to be freed." Debate broke out among the researchers and the military forces funding the research. Unable to provoke any more response using the intercom, it was finally decided to open the chamber at midnight on the 15th day. The chamber was flushed of the stimulant gas and filled with fresh air, and immediately voices from the microphones began to object. 3 different voices began begging, as if pleading for the life of loved ones, to turn the gas back on. The chamber was open and soldiers were sent in to retrieve the test subjects. They began to scream louder than ever, and so did the soldiers when they saw what was inside. 4 of the 5 subjects were still alive, although no one could rightly call the state that any of them in life. The food rations past day 5 had not been so much as touched. There were chunks of meat from the dead test subjects' thighs and chests stuffed into the drain in the center of the chamber, blocking the drain and allowing 4 inches of water to accumulate on the floor. Precisely how much of the water on the floor was actually blood was never determined. All 4 surviving test subjects also had large portions of muscle and skin torn away from their bodies. The destruction of flesh and exposed bone on their fingertips indicated that the wounds were inflicted by hand, not with teeth as the researchers initially thought. Closer examination of the position and angles of the wounds indicated that most of, if not all of them, were self-inflicted. The abdominal organs below the ribcage of all 4 test subjects had been removed. While the heart, lungs, and diaphragm remained in place, the skin and most of the muscles attached to the ribs had been ripped off, exposing the lungs through the ribcage. All the blood vessels and organs remained intact. They had just been taken out and laid on the floor, fanning out around the eviscerated but still living bodies of the subjects. The digestive tract of all 4 could be seen working, digesting food. It quickly became apparent that what they were digesting was their own flesh that they had ripped off and eaten over the course of days. Most of the soldiers were Russian special operatives at the facility, but still many refused to return to the chamber to remove the test subjects. They continued to scream to be left in the chamber and alternately begged and demanded that the gas be turned back on, lest they fall asleep. To everyone's surprise, the test subjects put up a fierce fight in the process of being removed from the chamber. One of the Russian soldiers died from having his throat ripped out. Another was gravely injured by having his testicles ripped off and an artery in his leg severed by one of the subject's teeth. Another 5 of the soldiers lost their lives if you count ones that committed suicide in the weeks following the incident. In the struggle, one of the 4 living subjects had his spleen ruptured and he bled out almost immediately. The medical researchers attempted to sedate him, but this proved impossible. He was injected with more than 10 times the human dose of morphine derivative and still fought like a cornered animal, breaking the ribs and arm of one doctor. When his heart was seen to beat for a full 2 minutes after he had bled out to the point where there was more air in his vascular system than blood. Even after it stopped, he continued to scream and flail for another 3 minutes, struggling to attack anyone in reach, and just repeated the word "more" over and over, weaker and weaker, until he finally fell silent. The surviving 3 test subjects were heavily restrained and moved to a medical facility, the 2 with intact vocal cords continuously begging for the gas, demanding to be kept awake. The most injured of the 3 was taken to the only surgical operating room that the facility had. In the process of preparing the subject to have his organs placed back within his body, it was found that he was effectively immune to the sedative that they had given to him to prepare for the surgery. He fought furiously against his restraints when the anesthetic gas was brought out to put him under. He managed to tear most of the way through a 4-inch wide leather strap on one wrist, even though the weight of a 200-pound soldier was holding that wrist as well. It took only a little more anesthetic than normal to put him under, and the instant his eyelids fluttered and closed, his heart stopped. In the autopsy of the test subject that died on the operating table, it was found that his blood had tripled the normal level of oxygen. His muscles that were still attached to his skeleton were badly torn, and he had broken 9 bones in his struggle to not be subdued. Most of them were from the force of his own muscles he had exerted on them. The second survivor had been the first of the group of 5 to start screaming. His vocal cords destroyed, he was unable to beg or object to surgery, and he only reacted by shaking his head violently in disapproval when the anesthetic gas was brought near him. He shook his head yes when someone suggested, reluctantly, they tried the surgery without anesthetic, and did not react for the entire 6-hour procedure of replacing his abdominal organs and attempting to cover them with what remained of his skin. The surgeon presiding stated repeatedly that it should be medically impossible for the patient to still be alive. One terrified nurse assisting the surgery stated that she had been the patient's mouth curls into a smile several times when his eyes met hers. When the surgery ended, the subject looked at the surgeon and began to wheeze loudly, attempting to talk while struggling. Assuming this must be something of drastic importance, the surgeon had a pen and pad fetched so the patient could write his message. It was simple: keep cutting. The other 2 test subjects were given the same surgery, both without anesthetic as well, although they had to be injected with a paralytic for the duration of their operation. The surgeon found it impossible to perform the operation while the patients laughed continuously. Once paralyzed, the subjects could only follow the attending researchers with their eyes. The paralytic cleared their system in an abnormally short period of time, and they were soon trying to escape their bonds. The moment they could speak, they were again asking for the stimulant gas. The researchers tried asking why they had injured themselves, why they had ripped out their own guts, and why they wanted to be given the gas again. Only one response was given: I must remain awake. All 3 subjects' restraints were reinforced and they were placed back into the chamber awaiting determination as to what should be done with them. The researchers, facing the wrath of their military benefactors for having failed the stated goals of their project, considered euthanizing the surviving subjects. The commanding officer, a former KGB agent, instead saw potential and wanted to see what would happen if they were put back on the gas. The researchers strongly objected, but they were overruled. In preparation for being sealed in the chamber again, the subjects were connected to an EEG monitor and had their restraints padded for long-term confinement. To everyone's surprise, all 3 stopped struggling the moment it was let slip that they were going back on the gas. It was obvious that at this point, all 3 were putting up a great struggle to stay awake. One of the subjects that could speak was humming loudly and continuously. The mute subject was straining his legs against the leather bonds with all his might, first left, then right, then left again for something to focus on. The remaining subject was holding his head off his pillow and blinking rapidly. Having been the first to be wired for EEG, most of the researchers were monitoring his brainwaves in surprise. They were normal for most of the time, but sometimes flatlined inexplicably. It looked as if he were repeatedly suffering from brain death before returning to normal. As they focused on paper scrolling out of the brainwave monitor, only one nurse saw his eyes slip shut at the same moment his head hit the pillow. His brainwaves immediately changed to that of a deep sleep, then flatlined for the last time as his heart simultaneously stopped. The only remaining subject that could speak started screaming to be sealed in now. His brainwaves showed the same flatlines as one who had just died from falling asleep. The commander gave the order to seal the chamber with both subjects inside, as well as 3 researchers. One of the named 3 immediately drew his gun and shot the commander point blank between the eyes, then turned the gun on the mute subject and blew his brains out as well. He pointed his gun at the remaining subject, still restrained to a bed as the remaining members of the medical and research team fled the room. I won't be locked in here with these things. Not with you, he screamed at the man strapped to the table. What are you? He demanded. I must know. The subject smiled. Have you forgotten so easily? The subject asked. We are you. We are the madness that lurks within you all, begging to be free at every moment in your deepest animal mind. We are what you hide from in your beds every night. We are what you sedate into silence and paralysis when you go to the nocturnal haven where we cannot tread. The researcher paused, then aimed at the subject's heart and fired. The EEG flatlined as the subject weakly choked out, so nearly free.
Nice.
That's it.
That was gross.
Mhm.
That was gross. That was cool.
It's a very
That was a good
popular one.
I've never heard of that one before. I'm not a horror story girly. Like I know there's a community for girls that love or people too that just love falling asleep to like fucked up crime stories or like podcasts of like horror. Like that's just I'm not built like that. I went
down a rabbit hole with these like a long time ago, and I remember reading this one, and that was like, okay,
nice.
That could be
it was cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like some what is it?
Chernobyl.
Chernobyl fucking effect.
Basically.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Loki. I tensed up reading that shit.
That was good. No, it was good. Good delivery.
Thanks.
I have mine. Mine's called Betsy the Doll.
You.
So, okay. Like most people these days, I had a fucked up childhood. Who doesn't, right? My father took off before I was born, and my mother was left to care for me on her own, a skill she was sorely lacking. My mother slipped right back into the drug-addled party lifestyle she enjoyed before I was born, and had soon turned our 2-bedroom apartment into an opium den. For the first 5 years of my life, I walked around a confused, terrifying mist. The smoky air would flood down the hallway from our living room and slip under my bedroom door. It always seemed to linger for days. I know now that my mother wasn't a bad person, just a victim of her addictions. When she did have spare money, she would put food in the house and buy me clothes from Goodwill. The only pieces of furniture I had in my bedroom was a mattress set, a little blue and white, and a little blue and white toy chest. Not that I had a lot of toys to put in it, of course, just the 3 I had gotten for birthdays. One was an art kit, One was a red wagon, and the last, my pride and joy, was a doll named Betsy. Betsy was my best friend. We would have imaginary tea parties together, sleep together, and even take baths together. Sometimes I even remember her voice. When I thought back on my conversations with the doll in adulthood, I realized I was likely suffering from delusions, thanks to the always present butts of smoke that laid claim to the dingy hallways and drafty bedrooms of our small apartment. Still, I remember the sound of her voice, a pleasant, tingling little lilt that was always coupled with a raucous giggle. I always remember the things that she said to me and the things that she wanted me to do. She asked me to steal, usually food or pens and pencils. She wanted me to bring her forks and knives and hit the bad men who slept on our couch with it. It was always something, and I would always get in trouble, but she wouldn't. When I told my mother, who had put me up to these games, she would scoff and shake her head. She'd never believe me. Adults never do. Around my 6th birthday, I asked my mother for a birthday party. I wanted to invite the mean girls from school and serve them cake and ice cream to make them like me. I remember standing in the kitchen that day with such hopes, having just asked the most important question of my entire life. The glass of bottle of Coca-Cola I held was shaking in my nervous hands. I waited with bated breath as my mother continued putting groceries away, almost as if she hadn't heard me, but I knew she had. Finally, just as I had failed a second time to muster the courage to repeat my question, she turned around and gave me a flippant shake of her head. A birthday party? Laura, that's ridiculous. I can't afford 15 children that aren't even mine. Hell, I can barely even afford to feed you. You eat like an elephant, especially for a girl your size, or I'm sorry, Betsy does. There's probably There's barely anything left for me to eat around here, much less a classroom worth of other people's brats. My face fell as she shook her head and mumbled something else under her breath and stumbled off into the living room. I heard the music go up, and then as more people walked in the door, some left and some stayed. I never knew them either way. It simply wasn't fair. My mother threw parties all the time. What about me? I was a kid. All my friends had birthday parties, and now the mean girls at school would know I'm too poor to have one, and they would tease me even more. I felt tears start to well up in the corner of my eyes, and I choked back a sob while I ran to my room and slammed the door behind me. Betsy was lying on my bed and smiling. She was always smiling. Usually it made me feel better, but today it just made me angry. She just kept staring at me and smiling. She was going to tell me to do something bad again. I just know it. This is why my mother wouldn't throw a birthday party for me. It was because of all the trouble I'd gone into because of her. This was her fault. Betsy didn't have to go to school. Betsy never got in trouble like I did. And in my young mind, I truly believed it was the doll, not my mother, who was to blame for every single thing. I snapped then. I screamed in indignant rage and threw a bottle as hard as I could at the bed. It hit Betsy on the forehead and she fell on the floor. Good. I picked up the bottle and I hit her again and again, and I thought I heard her laugh, and I hit her harder. And then I laughed. When my rage was spent, I dragged Betsy to the toy chest, threw in, slammed it shut, kicked the chest again against the wall, and I never wanted to see Betsy again. I never owned another doll after Betsy. About a week later, the police came. 2 nice ladies took me to live in a new home in a new state with food, toys, and no drugs. The trunk went into storage and the wagon disappeared. I never saw my mother again. As I got older, my foster parents admitted she was in jail doing 25 years. That was fine with me.
Oh.
I felt nothing for her anyway. I still had nightmares because of my life with that woman, but then slowly I began to heal. I focused on doing well in school. I ignored my mother's letters from prison. She reached out to me several times in my 20s as well, but I always declined her calls. That is, until this morning. I'm 30 now, with my now children and a loving, honest husband, and a beautiful house, 2 dogs, and a career as a social worker, trying to make a difference for kids who had it bad like me. I'm happy. I'm steady, and I'm confident, and I'm content. So when I got a voicemail from my mother informing me that she had been paroled and then she wished to speak, decided to let her say her piece. Since the kids were home from school, I went out into our shed in the backyard and to return my mother's call. The shed was the children's domain, and they used to play in the summer. I sat on my old toy chest, which was currently being used as a tea party table, and dialed the number she had left me. 3 rings. Hello, Laura. Hello, Mother. How are you? Oh, Laura, thank you for speaking to me. I know you have your own life and family, and I would love to meet them someday. I just want to tell you now how sorry I am for everything. Mother, you're not meeting my kids ever. And since you called me, I'm going to have to say what I've wanted to say for years. The opium, the heroin, they destroyed you. And the worst of it is that you almost took me down with you. I was 5. That was no home for a child. Honestly, I'm surprised it took you so long to get caught. Laura, I know how it seems, but honestly, no, you know nothing. Look, it hardly matters, and I do understand why you would feel that way. Why you would hate me and not want to meet me or want me to meet your little ones. I learned a lot about forgiveness while I was away, and just, Laura, I'm sorry. I am so sorry about Betsy too. Then Betsy, I paused confused. Why would you care about her? I know, Laura, believe me, I do. It was all my fault. The drugs, the partying, and Betsy. Oh God, if only I had paid attention, if only I had known. She's gone and it's because of me. As my mother began to cry, I tapped my fingers on the toy box impatiently. The drugs had clearly fried her brain. Mother, I sighed. Why are you talking about Betsy? Why do you even care? I know where Betsy is, right underneath me. What are you talking about, Laura?
Huh?
Oh God, where is she? I shifted uncomfortably. Well, Betsy's in the trunk, where she's always been. Dead silence. What do you mean your sister's in the trunk? Sister? What the hell are you talking about? Back on drugs so soon? That's a record even for you. Betsy's a goddamn doll. I locked her in my toy box a few days before you got arrested for possession. Laura, oh God, no, Laura, what have you done? I wasn't arrested for drugs. I was arrested because of Betsy's disappearance. You always called her your little doll, but we thought you knew. God, we thought you knew, Laura. No, what have you done to my baby? My mind went completely blank. With no emotion, I sat the phone down next to me and stood up. I could hear the muffled sound of my mother's anguished cries and feel the dark clutch of the possibility in my own chest. Memories were stirring back in the back of my mind, threatening to flood forward into my consciousness. They pushed against the door in my mind that had been locked so tightly for so long that I'd forgotten I was even there. Was it even possible? Could the trauma and the opium had really led me to believe that a small child was actually a doll? Begging for food and utensils to eat with? Asking me to protect her from the bad man? No. I slowly turned around and brought my eyes down to the makeshift tea party table. Surely it was too small. You couldn't fit a person in there. You couldn't. But what about a very small, starving, emaciated child? What about her? Was she fit? Would an investigator even bother looking for a person in that chest? I knew I wouldn't. It was too small, and I was sure we had opened the toy box at some point over the years, hadn't we? Over having something swimming in the dark recesses of my memories always stopped me. I couldn't even ever remember seeing it open. I knelt down to the ground and opened the clasp. It would be better not to look. After all, I had overcome this new life that I had earned for myself. It could all be undone by opening this toy box, and I shouldn't open it. I should throw it in a landfill and forget it ever existed. I should not look inside. I opened the chest, and I never had it all. My mother never could afford to buy me one. I never had a wagon either, for that matter. But I did have a toy box. A pretty blue, white toy box when I was 5, and I beat my little sister to death and I hid her in it. And that's Betsy the doll.
Well,
Written by CW
like
on
that.
Reddit.
wow.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do
As
drugs with kids around.
Just don't do hard drugs.
Yeah.
just don't do drugs at all.
Yeah.
They help.
Anyway,
But that's our spoopy episode, you guys. We hope you guys did like the stories. There were I felt like they had a little bit of something for each one, and they were all different lengths. So if you guys dug it, hopefully you did. I liked Richard's story. I thought Richard's story was super dope. I had never heard it, so that was pretty trippy. Yeah, that was really cool.
yeah.
So, we're now entering the recommendation and final regards portion of the episode. Steve, would you like to go first, please?
I think for this episode, there's no music just because we had the reading. And it's just, I don't know. I think it pulls from the theme. But I did want to say as a final remark is, if you do go out, please be safe. I know we say this every time for every holiday, for anything. There's a lot of crazy, stupid people out and about. There's a lot of evil in the world when it comes to people. Some people don't have the best intentions, like all of us or most of us do. So always keep, eyes on your shoulders if you do go out. Be safe. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of what you're putting in your drink. Do not leave stuff out and about. If you have kids, take care of them. Trick or treating is a big thing still. Maybe not around us, but I know in a lot of other places it is.
Pandemic. Ew.
But
And honestly, best time. Most people are wearing masks anyways.
True.
But-
Actually.
but take care of them. Be aware of what they're putting in their mouths and what they're having. Like I said, there are people who are fucking ill-minded and have the worst intentions for others. Other than that, happy Halloween. I hope you guys enjoy episodes. We appreciate you guys always. This is now our second year doing something for you guys, so I hope you guys do continue to support us and enjoy the little things we do for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, thank you to Richard for all the editing when it comes to hopefully you guys enjoy the gameplay, and then obviously editing this. None of this is possible without you, so thank you guys so much for all that, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy us. And we're just excited to run the next 2 months with you guys again, because we switch from spooky to Christmas lights and lots of food and lots of festive partying.
We look our best for Christmas, y'all. It'll be fun. But
I
Richard,
got nothing.
your
I'm just
turn.
gonna piggyback off of that. What he said.
Oh, okay. Hi, it's me. I guess I won't go with any music either, just to keep the same vibe. But to also piggyback, same thing as Steve, we appreciate everybody. Also, hi Jasmine. Apparently she does watch us when she's
Yeah.
working, when she's cleaning, and she let us know that she's digging the shorts. If you guys want to know what she's talking about, go ahead and check out the links down below for the TikToks, the other socials, and anything that's important that you guys want to check out. Richard will be working on those and putting out some more pretty soon to hear. So, but yeah, that is up to when he wants to. Richard's a busy man. He's got a lot of stuff going on. He still makes time. He's crazy. I don't know how he does it. And he does it sober, kind of. There's alcohol, but it's not all the time. It's kind of crazy. But we do appreciate you guys. Like Steve said, stay safe. You could be spoofy and thoughty, but you could do it safely. Ho never gets cold, but Ho always stays safe.
And carries a stun gun.
Yep.
Shaped as a lipstick.
Kick some people in the balls, you guys. Honestly, the way I see it, if anything's gonna happen to me, you know what? At least you will be blind. An eyeball is really easy to fuck up, you guys. I'm just saying. Like that
Not
just
wrong.
saying. Just saying.
Anyway,
These puppers or whatever.
But
Go
do
for
be
it.
careful, because that could be considered as excessive force on somebody, even if it was starting as self-defense. There are different ways around this. So
Listen, it's better to
I'm
be-
gonna make sure.
it's better to have a charge than to be dead. That's all I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Listen. I feel like I'm gonna die, and if I do die, at least you'll remember me.
I have news for you, Lee. We're all gonna die.
Wow.
I know. But hopefully, I don't have to gouge
Self-existential
anyone's eyeball
terror.
out. But yeah, so we do appreciate everybody. Stay safe. Everybody have a happy Halloween, and we'll check you guys later. Oh, check out the gameplay video. That should hopefully is super good, and we hope you guys
I think
like
it's
it.
good.
And we have other games also coming up, or that we're thinking of trying out too. And if you guys have any recommendations, you can hit us up in the DMs, in the comment section. Like while you're scrolling down into the comment section before you get down there, and subscribe also and turn on the bell so you guys know when we're posting, and you guys get notifications. I think, and yeah,
And share. But
and
anyway,
share.
we'll see
Happy
you guys. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Chew, bye. Oh wait, Chew.
Your nose looks like a dick. Bye.
The perfect seat.